So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. Seven law enforcement agencies, including state police and Lake County Sheriff's Office, are assisting with the active shooter response. The public in the surrounding areas is being urged to shelter in place and avoid the downtown area. Quote, this morning at around 10:14, our community was terrorized by an act of violence that has shaken us to our core. Our hearts go out to the families of the victims during this devastating time. Officials stated that Fourth Fest, scheduled to start at the afternoon, has been canceled. Metro services near the area has been suspended. Several surrounding suburbs have canceled their 4th of July celebrations in response to the shooting. Quote, Illinois Governor J.P. Pritzker stated that in a tweet, he is closely monitoring the situation in Highland Park. Anyone with any information or anyone with video is urged to call Highland Park Police. Now, I want to say my condolences to the families, those involved and who were injured during this senseless act during a holiday time where clearly, families just come out there with their kids to enjoy fireworks, parades, and different things of that nature, right? But past all of that, Black people, I want y'all to pay attention to one thing here. Like I told y'all before, and I've stated this for about 3 or whatever years, the media will put out a certain narrative and they will use certain types of language when they are trying to make a brand new branding or pass that old branding over to Black people and try to make them the number one perpetrators and the poster children for said event. Now, notice if you go back and look at a lot of the shootings that have taken place, the media has always stated that it was a mass shooting, mass shooting, mass shooting, mass shooting. 3 people could have got injured, mass shooting, right? One person shot into the air in a group of 100 people, mass shooting. So now you mean to tell me that this happened in Highland Park, Illinois, and y'all decide that y'all don't want to label this as a mass shooting? And I was like, let me go check out the demographics in the population, right? So it said race and Hispanic origin, white alone percentage, 89.6%, Black or African American percentage, 0.8, American Indian or Alaska Native alone, 0.0, Asian alone, 2.9, Native Hawaiian or other Pacific Islander, 0.0, two or more races, meaning biracial, 3.7, Hispanic or Latino percentage, 8.9%. And then they have white alone / not Hispanic or Latino percentage, 84.7. So notice how when there's a lack of a Black percentage there, they tend not to want to call this, in a sense, a mass shooting. But when you have an abundance of Black people there, or at least present, they'll end up calling this a mass shooting, right? And I'm almost wondering now, this could be the other thing that'll mix up the bag, right? Now, the shooter could be anybody, right? I'm just looking at the demographics here of the actual area. There's only so few choices, some slim choices at that. But realistically, the shooter could be anybody. But for them not to want to call this a mass shooting, and especially during a holiday time where you have like a parade, you have gatherings of people in one area, and you have one lone individual that decided to do this and injured, I think they said 24, and I think potentially 3 people ended up losing their lives. Like I said, that's ridiculous. They said at least 5 people had their lives taken and 19 people were injured, right? Now, if you go to one of the articles in very small print, not even bold, it'll sit up there and say that the people were injured in a mass shooting. But when you look at the title, it does not say mass shooting. When I go directly to Twitter at this moment in time, It is not calling it a mass shooting. It's saying officials issue update in Highland Park parade shooting. Everything is saying, right? Rooftop shooter takes the lives, or at least 6 at the July 4th parade in a Chicago suburb. The G-Man is still at large. None of these things on Twitter state that it was a mass shooting. Why is that? Why is that?
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Here comes a new challenger!
So let's look at this one time where they wanted to label it, right? So they said mass shooting at July 4th parade in Highland Park, Illinois. At least 6 people passed, 24 wounded. The suspect, a white male, should be considered armed and dangerous. That's pretty much vague. That could be anybody at this moment in time. G-Man appeared to be shooting from a rooftop. Officials recovered what seems to be a rifle at the scene. So you mean to tell me that magically all the news media outlets decided, pretty much all of them, except for maybe 1%, decided to really call this a mass shooting when any other time anything is taking place, y'all made specifically sure to call some a mass shooting, especially after what happened in New York. Y'all was like, oh no, we can't have this. This is making us look way too bad. We need something else to come up real quick. Oh, we got something in Texas. All right, we gonna sit up to you. Oh, we got something that happened in Toulouse. Oh, word. Okay, yeah, we especially gonna use. Oh, we got another one that just. Oh, perfect. They was like, yo, we bet we got 3 in a row. We about to really make sure we put this on the black community pronto, and then we might just so happen to use it if one of us comes back and do something crazy like we normally do. Like I said before, y'all the main number one suspects when it comes to these types of events. And the main thing I want to sit up there and note is when I look through social media at this moment in time, I'm not looking at a whole bunch of Caucasian individuals trying to say, oh, but everybody does this. It's not just nah, son. This is y'all. This is y'all. And they don't got nothing to say because it mostly has to do with their own people. Now, like I said before, there are other people that have a higher population of black people there, but they're also included in being Caucasian as well. So yet again, it's just going to be listed as a shooting, right? Because everybody's within proximity. But like I said, black people pay very close attention. Like I've told you guys and I've shown you guys for years, the media will decide to portray and use certain types of titles and brandings in order to make money, in order to spin a certain type of narrative so that they can keep pushing and putting stories right behind that same type of title and narrative back to back to back to back to back to back to back. All of it is a money making scheme at the end of the day. And the other thing that I've also stated before, right, for the black community, if at any point in time you guys want a certain narrative to basically change, we have to be the ones to directly change it. So that means when it comes to, or if it comes to our own neighborhoods and things basically take place, it is up to us to basically come in and sweep the streets and to clean up the neighborhoods and to board up the houses. It's up to us. When it comes to certain types of violence, it's up to us to sit up there and arm up, to get vests, to patrol our neighborhoods and different things of this nature, and not depend on city police officers who live all the way up in the suburbs who commit 2, 3, or 4, 8 hours away just to come work in our cities around our people, around our children, around our homes, of which they don't care nothing about. And then we wonder why it is that we get treated the way that we do, because none of the people who work for our police stations that are within our cities are actually from our cities. They might have grown up there potentially if they're black, but realistically, they ended up going to the suburbs later on once they started, getting some more money. They were just like, I ain't about to be up in this city. I'm about to go up to the suburbs and I'll commute back to work this job. So like I said before, this is where you got that type of distancing that takes place, where you have a lot of those cops that can do something they don't really care. And they also don't really care because they don't got to see your face every single day. They're not going to the same mall with their kids. They're not going to the same movie theater. They're not going to the same schools. They're not going to the same recreational centers. They're not going to the same basketball courts. They're not going to the same things because they know if they were to, they would have to face the consequences of any and everything that they decide to do on those streets in black communities. But that was a whole, another conversation, a whole nother rant. But like I said, black people, pay attention to what the media decides to put directly on you and how it is they decide to try to brand you and make money off of you yet again.